Today's quick revision video in the countdown to IGCSE Business Studies Paper 1, which is 18 days away. Hopefully you're subscribed, hopefully you've been following along and writing your questions. If you haven't seen it, you write your questions below and I'm going through and giving you model answers to try and take some of that pressure off you. Now, unsurprisingly, we're getting more and more finance questions coming through, and I'm going to start with a shorter, a B question, but not necessarily easy. We're dealing with cash flow forecasts. I absolutely love them. I think they're really useful, but they do take a little bit of getting used to. So if we look at this one, we've got in the resource up here, we've got a cash flow forecast. Of course, we have to read that, but we're not doing it in this video. And we have to think about what's going on. We're going to be answering this B question as ever. What is the marker looking for? Well, this is going to be application because it's a calculation. It's not general knowledge. They want you to apply what they've got up here. Then we need to think, what do we know about cash flow forecast? Well, have you looked over your notes? Have you done the courses? Go to BizEd Made Simple. I've got the full course where it breaks everything down, explains cash flow forecast in detail. It comes with resources and a downloadable spreadsheet, which really, I think is useful. If you just play with it back and forth, you're going to get detailed understanding of it. Okay, so let's have a look at this question. TDG, what does a cash flow forecast mean, roughly? Again, watch the full video to find out. But we can see at the end of July, the interesting thing, they're predicting, because it's a forecast, they'll have $30,000 in their bank account. Then in August, they'll still have $30,000. In September, they're going to have minus, because brackets means minus $10,000. September's not looking very good. That's my quick reaction to their cash flow forecast. But they're not asking that for B. They're saying, what is X? And we've got to have some understanding. But actually, if I'm looking at X, I don't have to go down the route of opening and closing balances. This is all to do, I can work it from the net cash flow. It just seems the easiest way for me to do it. Watch the full videos. But if I'm doing it off the net cash flow, well, I like to talk about having a net because it sounds complicated, but let's break things down to be simple. So if we have a net, and if you think about going fishing, that's what net means. If we had a net and we went out and we caught 3 fish and we put 3 fish into the net, but there was a hole and 1 fish flowed out, jumped out, how many would be left in the net? So if 3 fish cash inflow, 1 fish outflow, it's getting weird now, jumped out, how many would you have left? And I'm hoping you're going, that's pretty easy, it's 2. There we go. Therefore, you can learn it by equations, but the equation we can see is 3 minus the 1 equals 2. So 3 inflow minus the 1 outflow would tell you what's the net cash flow. Now we can apply that same logic as a quick pattern for this one to work out this X. If I follow the pattern of it, so I have question mark, because I don't know what the X, I could put the X in there, but that sounds a bit like algebra and scary to me. So I put question mark minus, and then this was the outflow, minus the 50, and I know it equals 10. Well, a little bit of reorganizing in maths, I'm not going into it, but it should be fairly clear that the answer therefore is 60. Double check, 60 minus 50 equals 10. That's right, I've got 1 mark, I know it's right. Now the only thing I say here, annoys me these questions, because calculate X, well, X, what do they want? The answer is either of those is fine, but I like to cover myself because if you were just to write X, of course, in the box, 60, but it's not 60 for my own thing. It's not 60 they made. They had an inflow of $60,000 because this is business studies. So I like to put both. In fact, either of them are absolutely fine. If you put 60, you'll get the mark. If you put 60,000, they would accept it too, but it still annoys me. Okay, second one's a little bit trickier, of course. They like to do that, but if we follow the same logic of the fish, writing it underneath, so we have 40, oh, I've just covered it up, go away, 40 minus the question mark, the outflow, which is the y, equals, now brackets, so it's minus 40, so he must have had reserves of fish in his net in my stupid story. But we can do that, we look at it, we got some confidence, and therefore the answer is 80. Just double check that again then, 40 minus 80 equals minus 40. And that is it. There's 2 marks. It's 100% right. You can see it by double checking by doing that little method. It's right. That's it for this video. Do we go on to this one next? Let me know in the comments. What are we looking for? Hope it helps. See you on tomorrow on the next video.